and the Cincinnati Bengals as they match up with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. There's a look at New Era Field here in Orchard Park, New York. A few moments ago, to the delight of this Buffalo crowd, it was the Bills racing out of the tunnel as they get set to match up with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hello, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they, too, were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Bills being led out by their quarterback, the 7th overall pick of the 2018 draft. It's Josh Allen. Of course, the Bills, they've been looking for a franchise quarterback for a number of years, and now they think they have their guy. He certainly had his moments as a rookie, including an impressive win in Minnesota in his second NFL start.
52's 180. 52's the mic. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Check 37, check the middle.
They run with a former Jaguar. It's T.J. Yeldon looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And for this offensive unit that we'll see here in just a second, T.J. Yeldon is certainly someone to mention.
Came out of Alabama with a lot of attention, but earned it. This guy is better and better at a lighter weight. Shifty back who can finish with power.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
They run it from the gun with Yeldon. And an alley to run. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Right there. Round 80. 54 Mike. We ain't giving up nothing today.
A first down carry now for Yeldon. Jesse Bates, who led the Bengals in tackles as a rookie, there to make the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
22 yards there, a first down. Yeldon was always reliable out of the backfield for Blake Bortles, and now he has a chance to help out another young quarterback in the same way in Josh Allen. But you look at the numbers a season ago, 55 catches, almost 500 yards, very sure hands for a running back. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. This is the 3rd-round pick out of FAU, Devin Singletary. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
On first down, they stick with Singletary. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. A shotgun handoff now to Yeldon. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Geno Atkins in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. He'll let this go for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Dalton. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
After that throw, and it was definitely one that he would love to have back, I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little triggers that when the mechanics are off, or if they make a bad throw, that they go to that place to get themselves back in sync.
A good pick up there of 20 yards. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Had some momentum going, driving down the field. That'll set him back 1st and 15.
I mean, that type of play, when you've got to go in your direction, shoot, my man Old Mo's arching an eyebrow at him right now. You've got me going. Keep me going.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 2nd down, Bernard. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup to get him back to the original line of scrimmage with 3rd down coming up. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward. That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Bullock will put this one through. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now T.J. Yeldon. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. To throw on 3rd down. Allen. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Allen now looks to throw, and the grab by Croft. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Allen hit. He lost the football. And it's a Cincinnati Bengals touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And that is incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Dalton bootlegs out. That's complete to John Ross. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Dalton, 1st and 10.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
On 1st down, Bernard. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Dalton gives to Bernard. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it here with Bernard. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And now to the air, Dalton. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounder. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams. An 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his own line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
Right there. Right there. 54 Mike. Watch a slant. Watch a slant. Watch a slant. Pass. Check. Smooth. Hey, watch that.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, able to make the play defensively. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. On the run, it's Yeldon. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now Allen on 3rd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Darquez Dennard. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
From the 38, Dalton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 33 yards that time.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? The guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
On 2nd and goal, Dalton looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. But now it's 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Now a carry for Bernard. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Giovanni Bernard. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. A Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint. Down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Bills are certainly happy to have a healthy Tyler Kroft. Remember, he had a season. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Allen. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes his quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Dalton complete to the right side. It's Eifert. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Dalton here from the gun. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Back deep here, Andre Roberts. Taken in at the 22. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Around the NFL, they're in the 2nd quarter at Lambeau. Early lead in that one for the Packers. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half, now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
56.
On 2nd and 9, Allen, wide open receiver, complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 43. Throwing now is Allen. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D. Joker.
A final shot before half for Allen. He's going to go deep for Beasley. That's going to be caught. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
they get that done?
Stephen Hauschka for the point after. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In the game you're watching has been the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, who's led the way. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game. As we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Andy Dalton now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down. They'll run again with Bernard. Tackle made there by Jordan Poyer.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
This is Yeldon. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 45-yard line.
Greystone travel.
They'll run it again with Yeldon. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 yards there, first down.
Let's go.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, team 6, team 6.
And the blitz does come. And that's caught by Beasley. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So they did not bring pressure, and turns out probably a bad idea.
Yeah, he had time to stand in the pocket and deliver a strike. So I'm wondering that, and next time just go ahead and bring that pressure.
Allen now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. They'll run with Yeldon. Yeldon fighting. He lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Tremaine Edmonds, the Bills' leading tackler as a rookie last year, in on the stop there.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. The first down throw coming for Dalton. He's going to air it out deep for Green. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On second down now, Bernard. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. To throw, it's Allen. And his pass incomplete. The linebacker, Preston Brown, there to knock that one away. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check 99. Check 99.
On play action, Allen. He's got his man on the crossing route. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. And officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19. Allen now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Yeldon. And he's got this down to the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Back now in Buffalo. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. They keep it with Yeldon on 1st down. Darquez Denard there to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And avoids the contact by sliding. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were lifting their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Dalton. And his throw is incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the 1st half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the 2nd half. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Allen now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's a give to Yeldon. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Hey, high 7.
Throwing on 2nd down. Allen got his target, Pierre Garçon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. A handoff running left is Yeldon. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle. Again, it's Yeldon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time. We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
To return is Roberts. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And out will come the offense as they take over. Checking the NFL scoreboard, they're in the fourth now in Minneapolis. The Raiders have widened their lead even further. A win would be their second on the young season. They'll start out on the ground. It's T.J. Yeldon. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at one 48-yard line and ended at the other.
4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6 at the 48-yard line.
On second down, here's Yeldon.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. The Bills send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll begin here with Bernard. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, switch gears.
Again, here's Bernard. And again, this Buffalo defense there in run support to stop him behind the line. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now Bernard. Oh, Oh, and you can forget overtime. This is going to be a safety in the final minute of the game. Oh, my. And I don't know that I've ever seen a tie game decided in the final seconds because of a safety.
It's just an absolute disaster, Brandon. You're thinking you're going to at least get yourself to overtime. But how about this defense? They said, we're going to take matters into our own hands, and this will be an unbelievable victory if it holds up.
So with under 30 seconds to play, this is the game right here. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And they will take a knee here. And you know they enjoyed taking that knee because they're now going to be 1-2 instead of 0-3. And psychologically, that's a big difference early in the season.
It certainly is. It's a big barrier breaker because you get to 0-3, you're not thinking playoffs. At 1-2, you still believe that you're going to be a playoff team.
Yeah, you feel you got some hope on your side. 0-3, things start to look pretty bleak. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Bills, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll get another home date next week as the Patriots will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they will fall to a similar mark at 1-2. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.